Exodus 19, verse 1. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness. And there Israel camped before the mount. And Moshe went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a kadosh nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahweh commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that Yahweh has spoken, we will do. And Moshe returned the words of the people unto Yahweh. There's a word in here, that peculiar treasure, that I want you to think about as we read the next verse in Malachi 3:16, going on unto 3:18. Then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another, and Yahweh hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him, for them that feared Yahuwah, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith Yahweh of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels. And I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Elohim and him that serveth him not. The word that I was talking about was peculiar treasure and jewel. Now this word has fascinated me when I started studying into Hebrew, and I looked it up, and the word is Segoolah, and this is written in the Paleo Hebrew, so the letters are Samek, Gimel, Lamed, Hey. And as I studied into this word, looking into the root words and what each letter represents, I found my own treasure, you might want to say. So my question was, what is it to be a jewel or a treasure to Yahweh? And one of the things that I found was, as he says, if ye will obey my voice and keep my covenant. But I wanted to know a little bit more. So I started looking into the word, and I just want to share a few of the things that I found that really fascinated me. So I started with just looking up the word Segoolah in the concordance, or in one of the books that I've used here is the Ernest Klein, the Red Dictionary, which Eric Bissell recommends, and I've used his way of breaking open the words so that we can find more meaning into them. Very grateful to the work that he has done so that we can be blessed by learning more. And the other one is the Interlinear Bible, which is just has all the verses in the Hebrew, and you can just follow the words. The English is right underneath, and the number for the concordance is right there too, so that we can find what it really says in the Hebrew. So the definition for Segoolah in the Red Dictionary is possession, property, treasure, virtue, quality, remedy. Choice, best, peculiar, specific. This is with a yod in the back. For some of you familiar with what Eric Bissell teaches, yods and vavs can be taken in and out, and it doesn't change the meaning of the word. So it's good to kind of look at all of them, and then you get a better picture of everything. Samek Gimel Lamed is to acquire, save, lay by, treasure, to adapt, to become violet, treasure, Now we'll do a little bit more on the violet part later on, which I found very interesting, the connection there with being his treasure. Samek Gimel Lamed, Segoolah, round oval. Hey Samek Gimel Lamed Hey, becoming violet, turning violet. This comes from Aramaic and Syrian, which is Samek Gimel Vav Lamed Aleph, a cluster of grapes. Samek Gimel Yod Lamed, so we're just sticking in a yod, or we're not sticking in, but in the Red Dictionary you'll find this word where if you put in another letter like a vav or a yod, it doesn't really change the word. You just get a better understanding of the word. It means adaptable. So this is just an overall view of the word. Now to split it up even more is to go into the root words. So Samek Gimel Lamed Hey, looking into Samek Gimel Hey, a seja, a thing said, Old Norse, any long story of adventure or heroic deeds. Samek Gimel Yod, numerous enough. Aramaic related to Hebrew. Shin Gimel Yod Aleph, great, exalted. Sometimes the Shin and the Samek have a connection, and you can they sound the same. They both have the S sound, and you can look into those words too. Samek Vav Gimel, just putting a Vav in between, to move away, backslide. To fence about, he fenced about. To classify, moving back, turning aside. Fenced, class, type, category. A large basket, literally meaning that which encloses. Another word for that would be Samek Lamed, which is also a basket. Samek Vav Gimel Hey, fence, enclosure, name of a hitherto unidentified bird. Samek Vav Gimel Yod, belonging to a class. Samek Gimel Yod Hey, subject for study. Aramaic Samek Vav Gimel Yod Aleph, literally walking, going. From Aleph, Samek Gimel Yod, he walked, he went. Samek Yod Vav Gimel, fencing. Samek Yod Gimel, dross, base metal, derived from Samek Vav Gimel, and literally meaning that which is removed from the metal. Hedge, fence. Now, some of these may seem like opposites, but I find that very interesting about the Hebrew. To be fenced about, to move away, to backslide, seem like two opposites, but there's a connection there if you look further into the word. Gimel Lamed is a very interesting word that I find Eric explains that really well in his Erectology class. If anybody has a chance to watch this, please do, because it just gives you a basic grounding into all the letters and what they really mean, concepts that will make you or help you to understand his language better. And one of the things I remember from the class is that the Gimel is like the sent out one, the camel being sent out, and the Lamed is coming back to the teachings of Yahuwah. So if you have the letters, you have Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Ted, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, which is the first part of the Hebrew alphabet. And the Gimel are like the exiles, the ones being sent out, and through the Lamed, which is the rod or his teachings, they can come back. So within the Gimel Lamed, you have this concept of going out, where Yahuwah says, okay, you don't want to listen to me, I am sending you out into the world, I'm going to scatter you to all places, north, south, east, and west, but if you return to me, I will take you back. So the whole concept, one day I was hugging my little daughter, and the whole concept of, okay, I'll send you out, but I'll take you back if you return to come back. This whole concept of sending and coming back in is kind of represented in the shapes of these letters, Gimel Lamed. So some of the meanings of Gimel Lamed are very interesting, I find. Gimel Lamed, heap, pile, mound, ruins, wave, billow, great swell of water, fountain, spring, trend, movement, revolving door, basin, bowl. In Zechariah 4 verse 2, he talks about that particular word too. Gimel Lamed Aleph Yod, an uncovered place. Gimel Lamed, which is putting an extra emphasis on the Gimel Lamed, you've got it twice there. To roll, he brought about, caused. It underwent a metamorphosis. Wheel, gear wheel, pulley. Literally meaning something round, something rolled, a whirl of chaff. Like thinking of the whole Gimel Lamed, this rolling effect that is going on of rolling you out because of disobedience, but rolling you back in if you choose to follow his ways. Gimel Lamed Hey, to uncover, to appear, to immigrate. Hey, Gimel Lamed Yod Hey. Putting the Hey on both sides sometimes puts more emphasis on the Gimel Lamed on the inside. It's like the Hey is like a window to reveal. Carrying into captivity, exile, banishment. Nun Gimel Lamed Hey. Nun is like putting it into action. Visible, apparent, clear, concrete. Aleph Gimel Lamed, a drop. As in Aleph Gimel Lamed Yod, Tet Lamed, drops of dew. Tet Lamed is dew, so drops of dew. This would be like a drop of something. Gimel Aleph Lamed, to redeem. He acted as kinsman, to deliver, to defile, pollute, redeemer, savior. Now here you have the opposites again of to redeem, to defile, to pollute. It seems like there is always a choice in the Hebrew whether you will defile his covenant, pollute it by being disobedient, or come back to him, the Gimel, come back, the Lamed, through his teachings, come back, then he can redeem you and deliver you. Gimel Aleph Lamed Hey, redemption, deliverance, right of redemption, price of redemption, also kin and kindred. Gimel Vav Lamed Hey, exile, diaspora, collectively exiles. And the last one I really like, Gimel Yod Lamed, to rejoice, to dance and sing, joy, gladness, exultation, age. Gimel Yod Lamed Yod, pertaining to a certain age. It seems like there will be this age where there will be rejoicing, dancing, and singing when we return to his teachings. Abigail is another example of where the Gimel Lamed is mentioned in. It would be like Abba's Gimel Lamed, which is kind of a picture of sticking by his ways and understanding what that meant. So this is one part that gave me a lot of insight into this word. Another one was just to look at each letter, Samik, Gimel, Lamed, Hey, what they all meant. Samik literally means support, fulcrum, the support or point of support on which a lever turns in raising or moving something. So that would be this part here. Samik Vav Aleph Yod, a camouflager. Samik Vav Hey, to camouflage, to hide, to conceal. He camouflaged himself. I found that very interesting, to know that he is waiting for us to return. It says in Hosea, I will turn away from you until you seek my face and you return unto me and acknowledge your sins. Hey, Samik, hush, silence. Hey, Samik, hey, to be silent. Sometimes putting an ayin in the front will give you extra meaning into a word, as ayin is the letter of understanding, the eye that kind of understands. To press, squeeze, he kneaded, he massaged, dough, family of doubtful purity. Sounds like Israel to me, where he's going to work us like a piece of clay, throwing us on this wheel and just pounding us until we realize what we've done, and then hopefully that we can return to him. Ain, Samik, Yod, Samik, juice, sweet wine, essence. Ain, Samik, Yod, juicy, vivacious, full of life and animation, spirited, lively. Now an obsolete use of this word, which I find interesting, is long-lived or hard to kill or destroy. That reminds me of the word that's in Israel, Shin Resh, which means the remnant, the survivor, almost at the end of his days, that he will finally realize that he needs to return to Yahuwah. The Gimel, this letter represents the neck of a camel. So Gimel would be Gimel Mem Lamed. Gimel Aleph, proud, haughty, boastful, arrogant, conceited. Gimel Aleph Hey, to be proud, to rise up, be high, pride, haughtiness. Gimel Vav, back, body, inside, interior. From Ya'ah, he came, he entered. Gimel Hey Hey, to heal. This is an interesting verse in Hosea 5:13, which I will quickly read here. Hosea 5:13. When Ephraim saw his sickness and Yehudah saw his wound, then went Ephraim to the Assyrian and sent to King Yareb. Yet could he not heal you, nor cure you of your wound, for I will be unto Ephraim as a lion, and as a young lion to the house of Yehudah. I, even I, will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him. I will go and return to my place, till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction they will seek me early. This is Yahuwah talking to his people. So this word, to heal, he will not heal them unless they come back to him and they acknowledge that they have sinned and that they need to obey. To blind, he blinded. To incline, set of a wall, it inclined. Healing. Gimel Yod Aleph and Gimel Yod can be a valley or a vale. Gimel Vav Yod, a nation, a people, Gentile, an irreligious Jew, a body. So this is kind of a picture, this whole Gimel, of being sent out, the ones who were disobedient because of pride, boasting, arrogance, thinking that they did not need Yahuwah or did not need to heed his ways, that they could do whatever they wanted to. The Lamed, the name of this letter means the rod, probably means the rod of the teacher, from Lamed Mem Dalet, which probably originally meant to prick, sting, incite, goad. Lamed as a prefix is to, unto, toward, at, by, into, belonging to, written by. A lot of the Psalms by David start with this one, which would mean written by David. It could also mean unto David, which is Dodi, or beloved. Lamed Aleph, no, not, as Yahuwah being the authority of telling you no, not that, or what we can and cannot do. Lamed Aleph Hey, to be weary, be impatient, weary, tired, exhausted. The stage where we can come at, of where he is our last hope, our lifeboat, so to say. Lamed Hey, to her, which would be this root word right here, Lamed Hey, to her, to his bride, Israel. Would that, oh that, this is Lamed Vav, to him. Would that, oh that, if only. Lamed Hey Hey, to languish, faint, be tired. Lamed Vav Yod, accompaniment, auxiliary, which means giving help or aid, assisting or supporting. Subsidiary, serving, to supplement. Lamed Yod, to me. And the last one is Hey, which is a window or to reveal something. As a prefix, it means da. Hey Aleph is lo, behold, dis, behold. Hey Vav, ah, alas, woe. Hey Vav Hey, to fall, to be. Destruction, ruin, desire, again opposites here. Actual occurrence, present, present tense. Hey Vav Yod Hey, existence, being. Marriage of a woman to somebody. Debate, dispute. Hey Yod, here is. Hey Yod Hey, to be, exist, happen, become. He caused something to become, he made. I find these separate letters very interesting because they give you even more meaning, and they show you the picture of Israel being sent out, coming back through his teachings, being revealed to the ones who want to listen, who want to obey, who want to know what he is really saying. So there's a little song here that I found just a little while ago, and you probably all know this verse. It's in Psalms 37, verse 5. King James Bible, so you're probably familiar with this translation. Psalm 37, verse 5. Commit thy way unto Yahuwah. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. So commit thy way unto Yahuwah. In Hebrew, it's that word, Gimel Lamed, which we were just talking about here. And it actually means in this translation to roll your way unto Yahuwah. That it's like a wheel, something turning. Roll your way unto him. And here they've used commit thy way. But I like the whole concept of Gimel Lamed. Okay, roll your way unto him, which would be becoming like him, I find. And trust in him, which is bet tet chet, and he shall bring it to pass. So there's a little song here that I really enjoyed listening to, and knowing that that word, the root word within Segoolah, is in that verse, kind of gives it a little bit more meaning, I find. So the song goes, roll your way unto Yahuwah, and trust in him, he'll bring it to pass. Delight in Yahweh, and he will delight to give you the yearnings of your heart. Gol al Yahuwah dachecha, uftach alav vehu yaseh, vehit anak al Yahuwah, vayiten lecha mishalot libecha. This song I find very beautiful, how we are to roll our ways unto him. And so, again, this is the word, Segoolah. This is kind of some of the things that I've kind of found, which I found very heartwarming, you might want to say. So I've just written something here that I've put together, putting all of these things together, the separate letters, the words, where it's found in the scriptures, and sometimes even thinking of verses as we are studying into these Hebrew words and looking at the meaning. It clicks something of a verse you have read before. So I'm just, this is like my basic view of the word Segoolah, using some of the definitions found for the root words within it, but also verses that connect with who is his Segoolah, what is she supposed to do to become his Segoolah. And anyways, I'll just read, that might be easier. Segoolah, a treasure, Yahweh's property, his own personal possession, tossed about on the open sea, great swell of water, because of her disobedience, her backsliding, carried away into exile, banished, uncovered, in captivity, until the day or age she would repent, to Shuvah, acknowledging her past sins, seeking his face for redemption, deliverance, realizing she has been defiled and polluted by her own lawlessness, her own iniquity, her own breaking of his commandments, statutes, and judgments, eating pork, breaking Shabbat, disregarding his appointed times, to name just a few. Abba Yahuwah, Father Yahweh, will you be my guide? He has uncovered her, made her look deep inside of herself. See if there is any wicked way within me, any vexing, grieving, displeasing way within her. He has caused her to undergo a metamorphosis. His work, his fruit. From me thy fruit is found. She has willingly reached out for his open hand, adapting herself to his ways. Her example, Yahweh's communication, Yahusha, Yahweh's salvation, the Messiah, Mashiach, Mem Shin, touching, feeling, Aleph Chet, brother, kinsman, friend. The Word made flesh, walking, talking, breathing Torah. Abba Yahuwah has brought about this change, this longing to be like him, his word becoming alive before her as she is reading, studying, contemplating his words. Samek Gimel Lamed, to become violet, the blending of red and blue, sunset, alpenglow, fire, red, the letter Shin, passion for his word, his character, this burning inside of her, coming together with water, blue, the letter Mem, gentle waves of nurturing coolness supporting the growth of his word inside, like a womb, a home. Shin Mem, Shem, his name, inside of her, his character displayed in his bride's life by her actions, her words, her thoughts and meditations, her disposition to him as well as to others. Samek Gimel Lamed Hey, Segoolah, her virtue and quality becoming the remedy, beautiful violet. Being one, echad, with him, the gentle blending of red and blue, producing violet, his Segoolah, his peculiar treasure, his jewel. No quarreling, disputing with him, but rolling our ways unto him, Gimel Lamed, in love, in trust, in obedience. Violet, like a cluster of grapes, squeezed out, drops of sweet wine to him, clarified, distilled, produced into the essence of his Shem. His ways manifested in his bride, a husband rejoicing in a wife who chooses to adorn herself with the dress he likes. His bride, dancing and singing to him, joy and gladness bursting out of her like a fountain a spring. In an age of rebellion, disobedience, selfishness, my way or the highway, may his bride shine otherwise.